Twinkle, twinkle, little star,
He's alive!
Welcome to where the weird ones are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles or they're lizards or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Let's get weird.
What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. My name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. Today's episode is with Angel. This is her second appearance. We talk about shadow figures, her son sleepwalking, mimics, dreams, all those kind of things. She also was helped by Isaac, the Shadow Walker, who actually is going to be making his third appearance in a couple weeks. So look out for that. But yeah, Angel has some strange goings-ons. So we talk about everything that's going on with her currently, and yeah, it was a interesting and fun conversation. I enjoy it very much. So I think there was one that was pretty creepy. Her son sleepwalking is pretty creepy. But anyway, so if you like today's episode, please like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. Yeah, that's the best way to really help the show grow. The Patreon is out. It's $5 a month. You get extra segments like Conspiracy Tuesday and Story Time. You get a free mug. I might do other free merch here and there for the members. Maybe like once a year or something. I don't know. Just an idea. But yeah, you also can leave a rating and review on the website. That's where the fucking, I drew a blank there for a second. I like paused in real life. Where the weird ones are podcast.com. Also got a review on the Nick Valente episode from somebody named Joey. So Joey, if you're listening, thanks. I appreciate the kind words. He said something along the lines of, "This was a great show." So yeah, so thanks, man. I appreciate it, and I hope you continue to listen. That would mean the world to me. But yeah, like I said, the Patreon's out there. If you decide not to, that's totally fine. I'm just extremely stoked that you're here listening to this side, the free side, the side that I care the most about. I got hot sauce. So if you want some hot sauce, April 13th, Encounter Quest, Hamlet, North Carolina. Come check us out. There's speakers. There's a shit ton of vendors. I'm going to be reuniting with a bunch of friends that I made last time I was there. So it should be real. It should be a lot of fun. Jenny and Oren are going to be there. And I think that's the part that I'm looking forward to the most, is the two of them. So, but yeah, so come hang out, get some hot sauce. It's weird sauce, but eventually it will be on the website, being sold on the website. Also, if you want merch, go to the website. The blog is on there, which fucking A, man, I gotta really start, writing and shit. Um, but yeah, so this weekend going out with Phil, exploring with Phil, and then back out into the Huckamuck. So look forward to seeing that video on Phil's page. So yeah, so a lot of things coming. I'm going to get a tattoo tonight, so I'm excited. And you'll really see, the how far back my recordings are, because it'll be a little while. You'll see the tattoo probably in the intros. But I believe today's episode, like I had beard. I had a beard. Um, so, and I don't right now. But yeah, so June 8th, Sanford, Maine, 40 and Fest. You won't if you're in the area of Sanford, Maine, come check us out there. You can get the hot sauce there too, and you can, check out a bunch of speakers and vendors. Go to Facebook, 40, look up 40 and Fest, and you can get your tickets through there. And you can get your tickets at Encounter Quest in Hamlet, North Carolina at encounterquest.com. So please go check those out if you are interested in attending. So, the Encounter Quest, I believe you just pay for the speakers, and I think in 40 Invest you pay to enter to see the vendors and stuff like that. To see the vendors, it's all free. At Encounter Quest. So if you want to see speakers like Ron Moorhead, maybe buy a ticket. But they got things going on the 12th too for Encounter Quest. That Friday night, either you can have a meet and greet with all the speakers. So that's pretty cool. But other than that, I think that's all the shit I got to talk about. Yeah. So let's get in it and let's get into it with Angel.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Weird. Get weird.
What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode. And today we are joined yet again with Angel. Angel, how's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. I know we didn't cover every thing that you all your experiences, as you didn't write them down, although you wanted to, but this time you come prepared.
I did. I did. Sat down, made sure I wrote most of them down, because they keep happening. So I'm not going to write every single one of them down.
Right. So, just for everybody listening, if you haven't listened to Angel's first appearance, you should definitely go check that out. I can't remember the number offhand at the moment, but it was right around the 50s, I think.
57, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It's somewhere's in mid 50s. It's definitely higher than, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the exact number, but I know it's around 55. It might be actually 55. But it's right around
That
that
sounds
area.
right. It's called The
So
Lone
go check
Witch.
that out. Listen to her stories. Like after we got done recording that very first time, Angel had reached out to me a couple of times talking about how things were getting bad again. Now she had been physically accosted by some entity or spirit of some kind. So she details that in that first episode, and she continued to have experiences, and has messaged me a few times after like I said, after the first experience. So I turned her on to Isaac, the Shadow Walker. If you don't remember Isaac, he was episode 50 and then 70 something. Because he's on, who was on the second time as for Gnome Place Like Home, where he at the end of the episode he talks about seeing gnomes around his house, but you know Isaac can remove negative entities even remotely. Like he doesn't have to physically be in a spot; he can do it through his phone, and he did help Angel. But she still has to see Isaac again for what was it, a closing or
Yeah, for like a exit positive, if it helped, if it didn't, and it did for a couple nights. It
uh,
helped my son, not me,
yeah.
because he was having nightmares and his nightmares had stopped. So that was the bonus part of it. But the freaky part of it. Now Isaac's great. Very nice man. Very
Yes.
nice man. I like him. His vibes are great. The whole encounter with him was fantastic.
Good.
It really was. It was something I wasn't expecting. I mean, we talked, gave him a little bit of my history, what I've been through, and he could pick it up. And then we started, and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna flip the camera around, and you're gonna walk me through the house." I'm like, "Okay, I dig it." So we started with the bedroom because that's where I was sitting, and we go from the master bedroom. There wasn't nothing there, and then we go into the kids' hall and the 13-year-old's room, and he has an attachment, well, had, but it's not there because Isaac got rid of it. And you can I don't know if you've seen him work, Kevin, but he like pulls and he closes his eyes and he pulls and it goes away. It's very interesting. And so that was gone. He said that was pretty easy. Then we get into the living room. Now, this is where I freaked him out because he said I'm the only one that's ever done this aside from his wife. So I have an L-shaped couch, and it's by the front windows. And I'm panning. He goes, "Stop." And I'm like, "Okay." And as he's getting ready to pull, and he flips his hand, I see this swirling black right here. And he's pulling, and I literally saw him pull it as he's doing it. And I go, "Holy shit." And he goes, "What?" I said, "I saw that." He goes, "No, you did not." I said, "Oh, yes, I did." I said, "From this window down to that pillow." He goes, "Yep, that's right where it was." I said, that's right where I saw it." He goes, "Nobody else has done that except for you and my wife."
Wow.
And then yeah. And I even freaked Isaac out at that point. So then we go from there to the dining room, and I had just gone up a little bit, and I gone back down. He goes, "Wait, go back up." Little did I know there was a swirling vortex up above. So he had to pull that. So for a couple of days thereafter, everything had calmed down. Everything felt good. Not internally, I was struggling. I felt like hell had been let loose in me. And he's like, "Can you do the exit interview?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to talk to you." I said, "I'm sorry, I can't. I cannot talk to you. Because whatever you did, it's pissing me off." So I haven't spoken to him since then. And it's not him. It's whatever he did. I guess it got mad at me.
You think it's manipulating you and your emotions?
See, I think at that point it did.
Yeah.
But and I had some other things going on at that time. And I think it all clashed together. But Isaac did a great job. But when I saw that thing disappear at the same time and freaked him out, and it was just a moment. And I was so excited because I got back to David, and I was like, "Guess what I just did?" And he's like, "Oh, you didn't?" I said, "Yes, I did." And so it was a whole situation. But every time I go to think about, I just thought about Isaac the other day, actually, to finish that exit interview, and I can't do it. It's nothing he's done. I can't talk to him.
Interesting. I wonder what.
And I've dealt with shaman before, but there's just something about Isaac.
Huh. That's interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Well, it's crazy. Not like, you know what I mean? Not crazy as unbelievable, but just wild crazy.
Right, the situation itself is just like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Because he's very pure, and he doesn't
Very.
lie about what he does. He's good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot talk to him. I get really, really, really mad.
Yeah. That sounds like spiritual manipulation to me, for sure.
Right. It's like,
So
don't
every
talk to him because I'll go away if you talk to him. Yeah, it's just, ugh.
when you do think about Isaac, about, reaching out, have you ever tried invoking the name of Jesus when you start feeling those names?
Um, Actually, I found my St. Michael card that I use for ghost hunting.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna pull that out when I try to talk to my Isaac,
Okay.
because I just currently found it, because it's usually I keep it packed on top of my Ouija board, the one I
Yep.
told you last time that has that spirit in it, because I won't use it,
Yep.
but it somehow found its way out and it's in my dresser drawer. Don't ask, things go different places in the house without me knowing. Um, so I think the next time I try to do that exit interview, I'll take that to talk to Isaac, because it's not Isaac's fault. It really isn't.
Well, that's interesting still. Um, yeah, something's definitely changing your mind, like planted a seed to, like, basically invoke those feelings every time you try to do that. So something's still there hanging on for sure. That's the vibe I get from that.
The last time I've talked to you, a lot more has happened now that I'm reading over my notes. A lot more.
Okay.
And
Well,
I've come up with a couple theories that I
all right.
wanted to bounce off you.
Okay. All right. Well, um let's start from the last time we talked, and then we'll go through, and then we'll get your theories and stuff.
Okay, so ooh, let
Or
me
just
see.
start from the beginning of your notes, you know.
Oh, so one of the things that really freaked me out is when we first, no, when we lived in Orlando. Gator, calm down. When we lived in Orlando, the master bedroom's here, the kitchen's here. You hear the slam come this way, and it was loud to where it woke us up. And then we were trying to go back to sleep, and then the end of the bed violently shook for like 10 seconds. Where that came from, I don't know, because that house was never haunted.
Okay.
So was that a sleep thing? Could have been. But the end of a bed shaking was pretty freaky.
Yeah, well, so from all of your stories, like from the first one and stuff like that, and especially now where your emotions are being manipulated, my buddy Drew says, spirit or hauntings are like nouns. They attach themselves to person, place, or thing. Have you ever thought that maybe just because since the house in Orlando technically wasn't haunted, do you think that just either something in your possession or maybe even you might be haunted yourself?
It's a good possibility. My mom had a spirit named Bart that was attached to her.
Yep.
Um, I've had a spirit named Matthew that's attached to me. That's supposed to be a child. I don't believe in children's spirits. I think they're more on the demonic side. But he told me his name's Matthew, so I go with Matthew. It rolls in my family, like I told you in the first episode.
Yep.
It's like the females have attachments. So I mean, it very well could be. It could be me. It could be my children. Who knows?
Right.
Since I've spoken to you, there's been more mimicking, and the research I've done that is more on the demonic side.
Yep.
Still, yeah, it's not like a ghost just saying a name or whatnot. It is literally a demonic repeating to torment the person who's hearing the name. And what was freaky the other day was that my 13-year-old, now my 23-year-old has a girlfriend. So he's bouncing between her house and our house, which is fine, whatever. But he come running out of his, no, everybody was asleep except for me. I was up and I heard my 23-year-old, Mom, I know Zach's not home. So I was like, okay, if you don't answer it, you don't feed it. So then my 13-year-old was up. He's homeschooled. And he hears his brother, Mom. And it's so loud. It was like he was right there in the hallway, the same spot. I heard it in the morning, but he heard it in the afternoon. And he asked me, he goes, is Zach home? No, he's at Kay's. No, he's not. He's home. I just heard him. No, it's what it is. Just ignore it. It'll go away. So, I mean, that was the other day. Last week, I was in the kitchen. Remember my hat man from the other house that I told you about? He's back in this house.
Oh boy. Oh
Because
boy.
I'm in there making food, and then all of a sudden it got eerily dark, like all the light had been taken out of the house. And then I see the hat, and then the arms come around me. I said, you know what? You can go away now. I'm through with you. Just leave me alone. And it stood there for a little bit, and then it went away. I'm like, wait till I tell Kevin, because this is not funny.
Oh my goodness gracious. You got some serious following going on over there, lady.
I do, and I don't do anything. That's the thing. I haven't been paranormal hunting. I haven't done any invocations lately. I've been trying to stay out of drama, and it's hitting harder.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you since the last time that I spoke to you, have you um like done anything where you feel more connected to a creator, or I guess technically a god? Are you searching yourself? Are you doing like shadow work at all, like trying to heal your soul or anything like that, like anything spiritually with yourself? Just
Well,
that doesn't mean like you're doing any kind of like rituals, just like searching for answers within yourself. So it's just like,
well,
I don't know, maybe connecting to earth, or I don't know, something like along those lines.
in this house, like I told you before we went on air, what everything I'm going through. We
Yep.
have a fire pit out back. So I go out in the back because we have a really nice and fenced yard and everything. And I do a lot of meditation in the back, just trying to keep myself calm and trying to find some inner peace to heal myself for right now with everything that I'm dealing with to calm down. It seems the more I'm trying to calm down, the more things are amping up. And I'm just like, this is not how it works. The
Uh,
more somebody's stressed out and they don't find that inner peace, then yeah, that would make sense.
right.
But this situation does not make sense because I do, I clean a lot. Everybody knows that. And I'm a cleaner. I clean 8 hours a day. Um, and then I'll go outside or I go on walks. I'd like to just be in my own head. So this shouldn't be happening. Now, am I opening doors without realizing it? That's a good possibility.
Yeah. Well, because I only ask because a lot of times, especially with negative entities or you know just something that's not good, tends to come about a lot of times when you feel yourself kind of like finding God, essentially. Like you get closer to, not technically religion, like organized religions, like get out of here. But like I do
Right.
believe in like, I believe in a lot of things that they believe technically. Like I think that I might, the more people that I talk to, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm starting to think that I might be a Christian, you know.
If you like paranormal, true crime, and some cryptids, or just anything weird, check out Ouch, Was That a Ghost? Brought to you by your host, Liz. You can find Ouch, Was That a Ghost on Spotify, Apple, or any audio platform. New episodes drop every Thursday.
But I'm
Oh,
not,
really?
I don't need to go to the fucking, I don't need to go to a church because like being like meditation outside, like that's a connection. Well, the minute I like started to be like, oh, maybe, maybe I'm Christian, like I've had, weird things start happening, like, and then just like random, like emotional things, you know, and I just think it's like a deterrent. Like I was literally just, I think I was talking to some, no, I wasn't talking to somebody, but I was about to get on here with somebody like 2 weeks ago. And, I was already having these feelings and I've been doing like, a spiritual journey for the past couple of years now and just working on myself, doing the shadow work, just trying to heal old wounds, old emotional, spiritual wounds, whether it be childhood trauma or just like recent things like with, breakups and just, silly things, um, that technically aren't silly to your inner being, but but I'm sitting here and, getting ready to for waiting for somebody to come on, and my dog just gets up, and I go, "Oh, where are you going?" And she just stops at the doorway, and she's staring into my son's room, and my son's room is right across from this door. Like their doors are right in front of each other, so I can see right into his room. And I'm just like, "What are you looking at?" And then like I'm looking at her, right?
Right.
But like in the peripheral, I see something move in my son's room. And I just like I stand up instantly and I go, "You are not fucking welcome here in the name of Jesus," and blah 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 blah. I was like, if you're negative, I don't want you here. Like
Right.
if you're not meant to be in this realm, like you are need to go and this and that. And I don't know prayers, I don't know that. I don't know
Well,
those
that's a
things.
form of praying.
Right. But like I don't know like I don't know, I guess the organized or
Organizational religion is for the birds.
well, right, but like a scripture prayer or something like that. But I
Right.
just, I know just invoking the name does something. And
It
that's
does.
another reason why I'm starting to believe more in uh, you know, God and stuff is because story after story after story, something's happening and then they're like in the name of Jesus and then it stops.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
like and I just stood here and stared for like a good 10 minutes until my dog stopped staring was then when I was like, that's what I thought. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. You're not welcome. And then I sat back down and then probably like 2 minutes later I was recording and then I can't freaking remember who I was recording with, but I told them what just happened. And they were
But
like,
that
what the
feeling
fuck?
doesn't go away though, because that residual of what was there is still there.
Right. Right. It's Yeah, it scared it mainly scared me just because like I feel like if I had looked up, I would have been able to see whatever it was that moved, but it looked like movement, in my peripheral
Right.
because I'm looking down at the floor towards where my dog is. My dog's not very big, and I it was almost like something wisp, but it was towards the back of the room, like in the darkness.
Yeah, and I've been seeing a lot of I can't say shadow figures because shadow figures are almost non see through. It's just like out of my peripheral, I'll just see them like jolt by. And I
Hmm.
see them out in my yard all the time.
I hate it. I hate it when they jolt because it scares me.
It
Like it's a
does,
jump scare. Not like I'm afraid of it or anything, but it's just like it's like really quick and I'm like, "Holy shit."
right. It's like, go away, man. Oh, like last night really freaked the hell out of me. I'm laying in bed. You know how you get in that sleep, that twilight dream, like you're comfortable, you don't want to move, and you're just falling asleep.
Yeah.
I saw in my mind's eye, I saw these three men in my mind's eye, and then one took his finger and poked like right in the middle, and my whole body jolted up out of bed. I was like, "What was that?
Yeah.
What was that?" And then my son, he didn't hasn't been sleeping the past 3 nights, and I haven't been sleeping for the past 2 weeks. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on? And my 23-year-old, he's been waking up with nightmares for the past two, 3 weeks. But to be fair, he had a gun pulled on him at work. he's a
Oh
he's a
no.
night salesman, knocks on doors, and yeah. But no, he's
I had
been
a
waking
gun
up
pulled
with
on me too at work
uh, why
when I was
work
like,
there?
huh?
Why work there then?
No, not at the work that I'm at now, just years ago when um I was like 18.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
but
I know the feel. I know the feeling. I thought it was a joke, though. I'm just gonna say, like when it happened to me, started laughing at the guy, and he's like, "It's not a fucking joke."
no, he had a handgun right in between his eyes
Yeah,
when the
yeah.
guy entered the door.
Yeah, mine was because I was getting ready to take the trash, so I was bent over the fucking trash can, tying the bag together, and I just hear and I
Oh
look up, and it
shit!
was a sawed-off shotgun, like it was like right here in my face. Like it wasn't up against my face, but it was probably like a foot, maybe a foot or so away from my face.
You're
And he's like,
like,
"Get in the freezer," and I'm like,
get in the
like that, and
freezer.
he's like, "That's not a fucking joke."
Oh my god! Wow, that took some balls.
Yeah, and then we fought. Because he
I hope
tried
you
to
won.
he tried to push me into the freezer, so his gun was up against my shoulder, and I looked at it, and his other hand was over here, and I'm like, he only has one hand on this gun right now, and I grabbed it. And I grabbed it and I went like that as fast as I could, but it was like as I did it, the other hand came around. So he was like this around me. So and he grabbed the other end of the gun. So he had both hands on the gun and my hands were right here and I'm like going like this and stuff. And then we fell out the fucking door and he must have been like a fucking acrobatic fucking ninja because out of nowhere this knife comes out and fucking sticks me right in the throat and he goes, "You better fucking let go of the fucking gun or I'm gonna slit your throat." And he did. He got me pretty good in the throat. I got a little bit of a scar here.
Oh, damn.
But I let go of the gun. I didn't want my throat to be cut over
Right.
fucking Wendy's money. So I let go
Yeah.
and he got up and I thought he ran away and then my boss was just I went inside as quick as I could and all like the little trash cans were on the floor because of the struggle and I was just like I was standing there and my boss was standing in front of the door and I go shut the fucking door and he starts trying to kick the cans out of the way so he could shut the door and the guy fucking came back in and he got $1,600.
That wasn't worth it.
No, I was like, all right. I was like, all right. I'm standing over here. Like, I'm not close enough to fight you, but like, I was mad because the gun was in my face. Now that at the time that once I realized it was really happening, I was fucking pissed. I was like, you gonna
Right.
pull a gun on me? Huh?
Well, if he would have shot you with one hand, the recoil would have been a bitch on him.
He might have broke his wrist. It
Yeah.
was sawed off too, like illegal fucking barrel. Yeah, that would have fucked him up. It
That
might have broke his arm.
yeah, yeah, that would have been a bitch.
Yeah.
Damn. So what do you think about dream what did I write down? Premonitions in dreams.
I believe in them 100% because I've had it happen like minuscule, like dreams, like things that don't even matter to to anything. Like, so one that I remember, 100%. So worked for this a utility tree company where we did clearance for the electrical lines. And the dream was that I was up in the bucket and I was trimming the trees, and then I came down, got out of the bucket, turned, looked, and saw like 4 to 5 trucks behind me. So we were all gang. It was gang trimming. We were just all together, like working together,
Right.
4 or 5 trucks together. And I remember waking up and being like, I'm never gonna work there again because I didn't work there at the time when I had the dream. 8 months later, I was working there again, and think it was like a month into working there again. I come down out of the bucket, I get on that friggin' headache rack right above the cab, and I turn and look, and I see all the trucks lined up because there was 5 of us, and I was just like, I fucking dreamt this. So yes, I believe 100% in premonitional dreams.
I have those quite often. So
Often, okay,
other
let's hear them.
okay, let me tell you about my mom. This is how she caught my boyfriend cheating on me.
Oh shit.
Yes. So I was with this guy for a while and being very teenagey and stupid, I'll love you forever, spend 10 minutes with you, and I'll be very happy. Well, he took advantage of that. And my mom had a dream that he was with a girl that we both knew. And she's like, "So, how was your horse ride?" He just looked at her. "How was your horse ride?" And she named the girl, I forget her name. "You were with this girl under this tree. Your car was here, and her car was there. And you went horseback riding. How'd you know?" "I dreamt it yesterday because you did it 2 days ago."
Oh shit. That's fucking awesome.
And he admitted everything to me. Everything. I was like, it helps to have a witch mother.
I'd say. I would say.
Yep. but I have them. I do a lot, which the more I talk to people, the more I find it's a commonality that people really don't realize they are gifted, and because they just blow it off. Oh, it's nothing. I'm Christian. I am not gifted. Just because you're Christian doesn't mean you're not gifted. It doesn't mean a
Absolutely.
damn thing. I can think about somebody like Antonio. I hadn't heard from him in 2 weeks, but he was in California working. He come back, and I was like, "Oh, he's home." And then he gets a hold of me last night. That happens to me all the time. It's a constant thing with me. And another thing with my mom. My mom was incredibly gifted, and I wish I had half the gifts she had. We were vacationing in Arkansas. We went there every year when I was a teenager. And she's like, "We got to go home." We lived in a trailer. She goes, "We have rolling hills in our trailer." My dad says, "You're crazy. We don't have rolling hills." We got a call the next day. The water pipes busted in the house, and we had rolling hills from the plywood in the trailer. Yeah, she was that good. She could make toothpicks go across because she didn't want to put them away in Steak and Shake. You know those little toothpick holders?
Uh-huh.
Have you seen those? Yep, she would make them levitate into the holder.
No shit.
Yep.
That
That
is something I
that
would love to see. I wish I could do that. I could just like this, because when I was setting up, I was still eating my dinner, which was just technically an omelet, but it was scrambled eggs with avocado and onion and cheese. But anyways,
that
I
sounds
came
good.
up here with still food in my plate, so it's sitting right there. If I could do that, I just go downstairs,
Yep, she
go
did
right
that.
into the sink. I don't have to do it.
She used to do that all the time.
That's awesome.
Oh, so okay, so I gotta tell you another freaky thing that happened to me. I do a lot of freaky things happen. The other night I was in bed. This is about a month and a half after we moved in here. Now you gotta remember, I told you this house was built in 1962.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't know whatever happened on this land, but I know it's changed hands a lot. We're like the eighth owners. So that's a lot for a house from the 60s.
Yeah.
I was in bed. It was about 2:30. I felt who I thought was my old man get into bed, and I heard a sigh. But the dogs didn't react. Now the dogs always sleep in bed with us. They're my security.
Yes.
When he comes home, they go off like fire alarms. They didn't move, they didn't bark, nothing. I was like, okay, that's a little weird. So I laid there a minute or two, and then I got up and I looked. He wasn't there. I was like, I know I was awake. Where'd he go? I got up and I looked around the house. I was like, I'm not getting back in that bed. 45 minutes later, he comes home. And I was like, did you go somewhere? No. Okay. I won't be sleeping in our room tonight. And he's like, why? I said, because you were already in bed 45 minutes ago. But the dogs didn't bark. It wasn't me. Okay.
What in the world? That's creepy.
Yeah.
That is creepy. I've never had anything like that in my life personally, so I can't relate, but that is still like, oh my God, I don't know how. I think I would probably run or maybe burn the house down.
You would want
Um,
to be an exorcist.
did you?
You'd be hot dialing Isaac. Isaac, I really need you, pal. But yeah, that actually, the whole bed went down. I felt a body
Oh my
from the
god.
head to the feet.
That's wild. That's a wild one, Angel.
Tell me about it. I've seen full body apparitions. I've seen them. I've seen dead people. I've been to funerals. And let me tell you, when they say you think they're breathing, you think they're breathing. But I've never felt one next to me before. Not until this house.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm sorry. I can't say I did when I first moved into this house, I felt somebody sit down on the end of my bed.
Yeah, I felt
But
that too.
and my dog looked at whatever it was. I remember she picked up her head and looked at it. Everybody listening's probably heard this story 100 times. Um, but she just like picked up her head, stared at it, and like something was coming into my room. And I was just like looking at her. I'm like, what are you looking at? And then I felt it because it was my back was to the door because I was laying on my stomach and I had my leg up like bent up like that, and her head was right here on my knee. And yeah, she just picked up her head. It's like, what are you looking at? And then I felt the weight come down on my bed. And then she put her head back down like, oh, it's okay. I know who this person is. So like I just got like a sensation that it was my uncle. But I don't know for sure.
See, that's pretty cool, but I can't explain why the dogs did not react.
Yeah.
And
Well, maybe it was a positive entity. That's why the dogs didn't react.
it could have been, I know his energy and it felt just like him. But they always go crazy when he comes home, and that's what doesn't connect for me.
Oh, okay. So even people they know, they
Yes,
still kind of bark. Okay.
because they're happy to see him.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting. Huh. Well, I
And I was,
hope it's nothing negative trying to lay with you because that'd be crazy. That'd be even crazier than crazy.
I'm gonna be like, Isaac, I'm flying you to Florida because you're coming into the house.
You got to get those tendrils out physically. You have to be
Yeah,
here physically for that shit.
because
Karate
apparently I
chop them as you
need
pull them in.
this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Dead Podcast. I'm your host, Desi, and on this podcast, I discuss all things spooky and weird, from ghosts, demons, religion, to folklore, urban legends, true crime, and all things paranormal, with some horror movie reviews sprinkled in. So join me on this spooky ride.
But that scared me. That honestly did scare me.
I don't blame you at all. I don't. I mean, I I I tell people all the time when they tell me some of their experiences, I'll be like, I'd run. And that kind of sounds like an instance that I'd probably run.
Yeah, I didn't sleep too well after that for a few
But
weeks.
don't blame you. Do not blame you one bit.
I mean, it was just,
And this was after Isaac had already um
yeah, that
met
was
with
short
you. Okay.
after
Okay. All right.
yeah,
But
now you see why I said after Isaac, things are like coming towards me. Um, and actually, my son, before we started talking, he said that he's been feeling people watching him sleep. I'm like, that makes me none too comfortable.
oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
right now, spiritually wise, I am so worn down, I can't do anything. So I'm going to have to end up getting a hold of Isaac again.
Yeah. Yeah. Um fuck.
And I'm like, you what? Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to scare you. I said, nothing scares me. It pisses me off. Except just don't lay next to me. But yeah, it's just things like that.
What else has been going on? Anything else?
I don't know if it's my son did it or I did it, but I'm thinking more it's my son with him not sleeping well. I think he's doing the sleepwalking thing.
Oh shit.
He's putting empty spaghetti. This is gonna make you laugh. Empty spaghetti sauce jars in the fridge. I found them the other day. I woke up to make my coffee. I'm like, why do I have empty spaghetti sauce jars in my fridge? And
Does he
I
drink them or they come out of like the trash or something?
no, I made spaghetti the night before and I put them on the recycle side. And I'm like, why are they in my fridge? I know I slept last night, so why? But things end up in the weirdest spots, and I know it's not me doing it.
Uh-huh.
So I chalk it up to Matthew. Matthew has an interesting story. So I'm gonna take you back to Oklahoma when we
Let's
lived there
do
for
it.
months. Matthew came out of the garage, and I heard him scream. And from what I understand, he is an 8-year-old boy. Like I said, I do not believe in children's spirits.
Right.
But why I've held on to him for so long is beyond me. This was, oh my God. We've been here 5 years, 15, 23, 22, something like that years. And he's just been like an on-off constant companion. And he likes to hide things. Now, when we moved from Oklahoma to Harrisburg, we only stayed there 9 months. When we moved from Oklahoma to Harrisburg, we were getting electrical work done on the house because they wired it ass backwards. And we were talking ghost stories with the electrician people and whatnot. And the guy's like, I don't believe in ghosts and this, that, and the third. And he's put his leveler down. And I'm like, okay, fine. I bet you won't find your leveler by the time you go. And my kids were at school. And Max, my youngest, was just a baby, so he couldn't have done it. He goes, I can't find my damn leveler. We looked everywhere. And about a week later, there's a leveler on the top of the stairs. And I was like, Matthew, did you put the leveler up here? Bye, Mom. And then I heard a door slam, and he took off. And then I didn't hear from him for about 4 months.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
kind of funny a little bit, but still.
Yeah, and it's funny and it's freaky because
Yeah,
is he
yeah.
a child or is he a demon?
Yeah, or trickster, which I mean, I guess a trickster could be um fall in lines as like a demon entity as well.
Right.
Um and I don't know, that's interesting. So what was the year that you recall ever since the first time you met Matthew?
Um, we left Florida the first time in 2004.
Okay.
So it was probably 2005 that I've had him with me.
Wow, almost 20 years. Just
Yeah.
about pretty close to it.
Yeah. And I haven't heard from him as of late, but when things start kicking up, things go missing. I missed
Uh,
my earbud. It ended up in the laundry. Okay, fine. That's easy to explain. I left it in my pocket and it went through the wash. No biggie deal. I couldn't find my earbud case for a week. It was in a totally separate drawer than where I left it. I left it here in my office. So did I put it in there? Could be with my scatterbrain, but I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I kind of do the same thing a little bit, like mainly with my wallet, which actually really pisses me off when I put it somewhere that I don't normally put it, and then I think somebody moved it. You know what I mean? Which maybe somebody did, but maybe I also just decided to put it in this weird fucking spot for some reason, and I forgot that I put it there. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
And
been
yeah,
There's definitely been times where I've fucking tore shit apart in this house looking for my wallet before, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I like walk into this room and there it is, right out in the open. I'm just like, wait a second. I've been in this room like 3 times. Why didn't
see,
I see
I
it?
go through that same thing. And it's like, okay, I put my wallet either in my underwear drawer or in my makeup drawer. And those are the only two spots it goes because that's where I can remember.
Yeah.
But then it ends up somewhere completely different. I'm like, I didn't do that. I know I didn't do that. So those are the things I deal with when activity spikes up. My stuff goes missing. Or my kids are like, where did you place this? If it's not in its normal spot, I can't tell you because I have everything organized where I can remember.
Yeah.
Because with my seizures, my brain's all messed up.
And you have seizures? I don't know if I can't remember if you ever told me
Oh,
that
I didn't
before.
tell you that?
I don't think you did.
Yes, I
Oh
have
my God.
epileptic seizures.
You might actually, you want to know what I think you may have told me in the first episode, and I'm
Yes,
just not remembering, but
I suffered a car crash, a major car crash, and a major car crash, and I had
uh-huh.
absent seizures, and then it slammed it all together. So now I have petite seizures, which have scattered my brain even more. And I think that makes me an open doorway as well.
I think so too. I think you're right. I think you're right. Um, you're just calling everybody home, man. You're just saying, "Hey, come check me out." You know?
I'm like this big filter, just a vortex right here.
Yes. Yeah, was he able to close it that night or
Actually, he said he did, and he worked on that one for a good 30 seconds. It took him a while to pull that one.
uh-huh.
And he said that's where most of the activity was coming from. And it was funny because I'll have to show you. But where we're sitting at now is, I don't know if you've ever seen them, which I never asked you about your trip down here. It's a Florida room, which is like a morning room, a spa room, whatever you want to call it. We Floridians are very strange. And it's got
Agree.
a whole, thank you so much. It's got a bunch of windows, but it's great for my reptiles because it keeps them warmer because that's where
Mhm.
the first sun comes in.
Right.
And the door archway, it has like a barn door and it's a sliding door. I don't know if you can see it. See that door right there? Right here?
Yes. Yep.
That's the door that goes into the main house. And right outside on the other side of the door, like right up in there, is where the vortex was. And the separation between the two rooms was incredibly, I mean, it was weird. It's like night and day. And here it's very calm and serene, and that's going out into where the fire pit is. And it's just, you wouldn't even know there was any stress. You walk into the main part of the house where that vortex was, and you could just feel the animosity and chaos start. So it was
Wow.
definitely different. And it's still kind of there, kind of residually. Yeah.
That's insane. I definitely want you to get in touch with Isaac again for sure. And I hope that you're able to fight through the manipulation of your emotions and set up that uh, exit exit
Exit interview, yeah.
exit interview.
Yeah,
So
I'll try. I'll try my best.
Eh, well, as long as you try, that's the best thing. But um is it so everything that's happening has anything like has been physically um accosting or like I know all of this has been energy draining and stuff like that, but um how has it been other than that?
um, it's just been pretty much energy draining until last night when whoever those three were trying to touch me, and that bothers me because that's the first physical manifestation I've had in a while. So, and I'm for right now, since we did the last podcast, I've stopped my magics just because I'm not up for putting protection spells up and all that. I'm not mentally there right now because of everything I'm going through. It's not a good headspace. I wouldn't be able to put my full concentration on it, if that
Right.
makes
Yes.
sense. So I just live my day to day and do the best I can. And if that is opening a floodgate, then I'll have to learn how to control that.
Right. Now, the physical manifestation that touched you last night, what what um what do you think? Oh, what would you place with that, like, as in, like, naming the entity? Like, would it be, do you think it was a human spirit? Do you think it was a demon? Do you think it was an angel? Or do you think it's a specific kind of demon? Or,
I think
um,
it's a human spirit trying. I don't know. That's a good question. Because if you're trying to get to sleep and all of a sudden you have these three men
yeah,
and one's poking their finger at you into your face and your body automatically reacts to jump to get out
yeah,
of the way. What would you call that?
uh,
Because your body's reacting in fear.
right. Well, I mean, it's something that you're not used to seeing, right?
I,
So, these
I
aren't
hold my own.
something that you're familiar with, so obviously you're gonna be scared regardless.
Right.
Um, I mean,
And he,
even if it was somebody that lives with you in the house standing there and you were just waking up or whatever and they're going poking at your face or whatever, you still would have been, afraid at first anyways.
right.
So, um,
It's
I
just,
don't,
they come up out of nowhere. And anybody that knows me, I love everybody. I am not a racist woman, but it was three black men. It was a boom, boom, boom. That's how they showed up. One,
oh,
two,
you could
three.
see that much description, huh?
I could. It was one,
Oh,
two,
wow.
three, and I was like, "What the hell are you?" And then after I jolted, I was gone like that.
Do you ever think that because of your seizures, your epilepsy, do you think that things that in your memory could have actually happened, and then while they're happening, you have a seizure and then you forget about it?
It's possible.
So like,
Do you know anything about seizures?
no, I know nothing, a very
Okay.
little bit.
When you have a seizure, your brain goes into protection mode,
Yeah.
and it puts you in amnesia state. So your brain protects your body,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't remember what your body's going through as it's having a muscular freak out session. Me, I have grand mal seizures, and my body tightens and contracts and tightens it really, really fast. And I hurt for days after. I went blind one time after one of my seizures
Oh my
because
goodness.
it just messed me up so bad. And it takes me a while to get my memory back in play. I can't remember people. I don't remember things. If you notice when you're talking to me, I have a hard time remembering words. It's because I can see things in my head, what I want to say. I know what they are. I can picture them, but I forget what they're called. It's all a
Hmm.
part of the seizure.
Oh, that's interesting.
And there's
And
different
then,
types of seizures. There's a lot of different types of seizures.
yeah, that's interesting. Well, I hope these three guys don't show up again and put their finger in your face, because that would be crazy.
Yeah, I hope they were just like a passing thing. Maybe they were saying, Angel, it'll be okay. Stop stressing.
It could have been. Yeah.
They could be there to calm me down, sent from my mom.
In the dark forest lies a secret, told in broken stories by those who bore witness, a monster, a murder, a long forgotten homestead. I'm on the search for the ghosts who haunt these places, and I want you to come along. Welcome to Tales, Trails, and Taverns. Here I take an active approach to finding places that people might warn you not to go to. Haunted trails, abandoned towns, old taverns where you might catch a glimpse of a long-deceased patron. Look, you're probably not going to find me trekking through Arizona looking to have a run-in with a skinwalker, and you certainly won't catch me playing with a Ouija board, but I have spent at least the last 10 years seeking out creepy, haunted, and abandoned places to explore. So lace up your boots, grab a working flashlight, and join me as I tell the tales, hike the trails, and grab a cold pint at the local tavern. You can find the podcast on Apple, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. You can find show updates on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. And also check out the blog at talestrailsandtaverns.com. And now, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Because she's been around too with what I'm going through.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it could be a myriad of things. It was just really scary.
Right. Right. And then maybe, somebody listening has had similar experiences to yours, and if you have, please reach out to her and, let her know. And then maybe you guys can talk about it and kind of figure it out. I mean, maybe not figure it, because we're never not gonna have like solid answers on what exactly everything is.
Exactly. Because everybody's experience is different.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to have somebody, that can relate to a lot of your situations is always nice. So, what else has been going on since you and I talked, and Isaac and all that?
Poor Isaac. I have thrown that man under the bus today.
Well, we know it works, so that's a good thing. We know he works.
He
So if
does.
you need to use him, use him. He's not
And,
hard to find.
and a shout out to anybody that needs an amazing shaman, because Isaac is the man.
Absolutely, I agree.
Isaac is the man. Because damn. But I never thought I would ever see a little thingy disappear off my couch. That was amazing.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, we already covered that one. If there was a correlation between stress and paranormal.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, for
definitely.
sure.
You know what I learned is that poltergeist activity. This is where my brains come in. Is from like the haunting in Edinburgh, Conjuring 2,
Yep.
is actually a poltergeist, even though it's called a noisy ghost, is made by somebody else's emotions. I did not know that.
Well, I was gonna say I didn't know that, but I think I kind of did. Just I don't know. I know. Oh my god. I know that our um our own negative emotions like stress, depression, anxiety can bring on a lot of um these experiences. And sometimes it gets so bad to the point where they manifest as a poltergeist, just like the Enfield incident in UK. And I mean, it was a single mother with what, 5 children,
Yes.
you know, and they were all
Yeah.
girls except for one boy, and I think the boy was the youngest. So, you know, um, you have the emotions of these girls becoming, they're like preteens. Um, so they have the hormones, so they're stressed out about that. They're stressed out about school. Mom's stressed out about bills. So there's anxiety, depression, and stress all working together. Um, and all of them, and yeah, so that's I notice when I'm stressed out, that's when a lot of my things happen. I mean, when I was a kid, I can't really put it to stress, but there was like traumatic events that happened and stuff. I mean, like everybody knows now at this point, unless you're new to the show, I did try to take my own life at 9 years old, and that's really when things started going crazy.
So young.
Yeah. So, and like the very first one was 2 weeks after I tried
Oh,
my
wow.
very first experience, and it was a big one. Like it was, I mean, I would say it was positive, right? But it wasn't like it was still scary as a 9-year-old kid. Well, I mean, it was just it was a full body apparition, could see right through them, like movies, and I feel like all these manifestations, they manifest to us individually to what we can comprehend in that time. You know what I
Right.
mean? And at 9 years old, I was watching Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon, Goosebumps, and I watched horror movies at 9 years old and stuff. I see movies with ghosts, and he kind of looked like a ghost from a movie. Like you could see right, he looked like a person, just you could see right through him, and he was a white wispy ghost. I couldn't like see a face or anything, and he was eating. He either had a bowl of noodles or he was knitting something with yarn. That's all I can like. I know he had something stringy in his hands, and he just goes, "Hey, be patient." Well, he didn't say "Hey," but he was like, "Be patient." I was like, "About what?" He's like, "You'll know." And then I was like in a state of like some sleep paralysis, and I was holding on to the chains of the swing, and I wanted to get up and run, and I just couldn't for what felt like forever, and it's probably only a couple seconds, and then finally I looked back and he was gone.
Oh, how cool.
So yeah, that was 2 weeks after I tried to take my own life, and then so 9, and then I tried again when I was 13. With so the first time I tried with a blade, the second time I tried with pills. Like I just ate a bunch of pills that I didn't even know what they were, and actually I think one of the bottles was stool softeners. Um, and I ended up in the hospital like the next day. We were we were there for like the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me either. They did like all these scans and stuff, and then they came to the conclusion that I needed to change my diet, and then we needed to empty my stomach. Um, but yeah, it was like really like I was like I woke up feeling like crap. I was like, oh no, I'm still alive. I remember saying that. I was just like, and then I went to my mom and I was like, my stomach like is like feels like it's gonna burst, like it hurts. Um, but yeah, and I think because of the chemicals and stuff, kind of like shut me off for a little while. So I didn't really experience much after that
Right.
until I started. I mean, I had little things here and there. Like I'm pretty sure my high school girlfriend. I haven't talked about this on the show, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna, but I'm pretty sure she became possessed at one point. Um, so
Oh, that was an
uh,
experience.
yeah. Um, she used to. There was a lot of things that she did. I think she might have been a medium and she didn't know, and I don't think she purposely like brought on these entities, but it was fucking wild one night. And I
Well, now
ran.
you
I
know that
ran.
you said that, everybody's going to want to know the story.
Yeah, I might tell it one day. Um, just not today. I'm not because then I have to relive it, and I'm kind of reliving
No,
it right now
no,
thinking about it, but
no, we're not going to do that. And it's kind of funny you said that because when I was in the hospital getting all that testing done, um, the guy that was doing my ultrasound testing for the pulses in my legs and my feet and all that, he goes, "Yeah, we were talking about ghosts, of course, because that's all I talk about." And he goes, "Yeah, I met this girl and her husband. They're ghost hunters and this, that, and the third." I said, "Are they ghost hunters or are they fucking with you?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" So he was teaching this girl how to do all this stuff. And I asked him, I said, "So are you going to go with?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think I might, or I might not. I don't know. I might get possessed. I might get an attachment, and I don't know." I said, "Well, if you just tell them not to follow you, then you should be okay." And he go and oh, I got to tell you about that day. And he goes, "Are you sure?" I said, "I've been doing this my entire life. Yes, I'm sure. You should be fine. And if you want to know protection, I'll tell you. Just don't ask me to do it because I'm not in the state of mind right now." And he's like, "Okay, that sounds good." So backtracking to 8:30 in the morning the other day, I get there, get signed in, get registered, all that bullshit. So I have to start with nuclear testing. Now they put this stuff in my body that looks like I'm lighting up like a Christmas tree with all the arthritis and shit in me, right? My nurse hated me by the time I got done with this test. I kept freezing the cameras and the computer and everything else was not working because I was so nervous and so scared. My energy kept freezing everything. She's like, "Angel, can you stop that?" I said, "I can't help it. It's just me. It's something I do naturally." And she's like, "Can we get through one test, just one image, and you stop freezing all my stuff?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll try." So I closed my eyes and I'm laying there and I'm breathing and I'm calm and she goes, "Angel." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Look at the screen." It froze solid.
Oh no.
And she had to reboot the entire system for the whole test to stop. So we left and they encourage you to eat and drink so the stuff can go to see if the infection's gone through the bone, because what's going on with, if my body's rejecting the metal and it's to the bone, I guess I can't have surgery. I don't know. So I did that. I come back. She goes, "Are you going to behave and not freeze my system again?" I'm like, "No promises, man. No promises." So
That's funny.
I get to the ultrasound guy, and his name was Angel. I said, "You can't have my name, man." He goes, "Why?" I said, "I'm Angel 1 because I'm older. You're Angel 2. And he's like, "Okay." So, you know me with my dark humor. I was pissing everybody off left and right because when you go to the hospitals here, I didn't know that when you go for nuclear testing and all that shit, it's in the basements of the hospitals. And the more we're going down to the belly of the hospital, the more it's looking like an insane asylum. And I'm like, damn, I'm going to the crypt keeper. I'm making all these jokes, and people are just looking at me. And this one nurse, she just muddled under her breath. I said, well, I guess you don't like going to the graveyard, do you? So I went back and I was talking to Angel, and he goes, I've done this test 1,000,000 times, and it's not working. I said, it's because it's me. I stopped it. Say, don't believe me? Go ask nuclear medicine. I kept stopping hers too. Now, backtracking. Oh my goddess.
That was really interesting. That's never happened before. A thumbs up bubble just popped up on your screen after you did that.
Really?
I don't know if did you see it?
No.
Or I know you put your head back as you were talking and you kind of like went like that. So it kind of looked like you had your thumbs up, and then just like this little bubble just popped up with a freaking thumbs up. I was like, what the fuck? I've never seen that happen before on this thing.
See what I mean?
I put my thumbs up like 100 times now.
So when we first moved here, I was having another surgery, and my anxiety was through the fucking roof. I had migraine. You know how when you get so
Oh
anxiety,
my
you're
god, yes.
like, oh my god, it's gonna fucking explode. The charge nurse in front of me, she's like, I just got the worst fucking migraine ever. I'm like, I'm sorry. So I have a tendency to do that. I don't know
Well,
how, but my energy flows.
that's interesting.
Now you
Well,
thumbs up.
don't come over here because I'd like to keep my electronics running. I don't need that manipulated, okay?
Hey, well, you got a manipulation with the thumbs up.
You did. I just hope you don't pass along any of these entities that are in your house over here. I'll have to say,
I'm gonna see
hey, if you're over there in Angel's house, you are not welcome here.
you hear that.
Just so you know.
But sorry, no traveling.
Isaac will deal with you momentarily when you stop manipulating Angel's fucking emotions.
Right, but that was cool. Thumbs up. I gotta tell David.
Yeah, that was it. I've literally never had. So I've been seeing a nutritionist, trying to clean up my diet and trying to learn new things. Like I kind of know like good nutrition and stuff, but I was just like, oh fuck, and it's a friend. It's a girl that I used to work out with and stuff like that, and I was just like, so she's starting her own business, so she only has two clients. It's me and this other person. Um, but she does Google meetings with me to
No,
go over everything once a week. And every once in a while, like one time, it was an emoji face, smiling face, and we were like, "What the hell?" And then it's been the thumbs up a couple times, but on Riverside, I have never seen the bubble thumbs up at all. So that was pretty interesting. I wonder if it has something to do with the spirit on your end, or if it's just because, like, because I mean, I got my thumb up right now. I'm putting it up.
there
Look!
we go.
What the fuck? How come it doesn't work for me?
You're not special, man.
Ah, you know what? Forget you. Forget all that noise. What the heck? So, for the people just listening, um, Angel accidentally caused a bubble. It looks like a speaking bubble, and it has a thumbs up in it, like a white glove thumbs up. And she accidentally did it. It didn't really look like she had her thumbs up, but it kind of did with the way she leaned back. And then she just held her thumb up twice now, and the bubbles came back. I've been sitting here with my thumb up, and nothing's happening.
I'm
So
live.
this is silly, and now I feel dumb. And now watch, hers are gonna come up.
Ah,
Right
yeah.
there, see? I got nothing, but she's getting them, but that's all right. Whatever. Riverside, you're
It's only
weird.
my
I didn't
left.
even know this was a thing for Riverside.
No, maybe not. Maybe it's both. Who knows? But there we go.
Maybe it is both.
Yep.
What the fuck? uh, well, Well, Angel, is there anything else going on in the
No,
house?
sir. I think we've covered it this time.
All right. Well, do you have anything for the good people, the listening? The one person, David, is the only person that listens to my podcast, and I love him very much and very dearly for listening. He's my
Nope.
one true fan. No, I'm just kidding. I don't look at analytics, but I the last time I happened to just go across it, there was quite a few. But
Well, if anybody wants to reach out to me, you can get me at feather_waterfire@yahoo.com or Instagram at Angel Hinman, Hinman.
nice. So if you have anything similar to what Angel had talked about, maybe you guys can get together and start a book club and talk about similar experiences. But if you are experiencing a lot of negative things like Angel has been, Isaac the Shadow Walker, he is on Instagram as Hidden in the Shadows podcast. You can find him there. And I think Facebook, but I'm not 100% sure. But definitely Hidden in the Shadows podcast on Instagram. Hit him up there, and he can clear your house remotely. He does not have to be there physically. He's already done it for Angel once, helped for a little while, but maybe she's a conduit. She might be part copper, which calls spirit sometimes. You know what I mean? She is trying to. She does have some metal in her foot. Maybe they put copper in there. I don't know. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the show, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. I would love and appreciate a rating and review. I really would. But if you decide that you don't want to, that's totally fine too. You don't have to. I mean, it takes 2 minutes, but you don't have to do that. If you are interested in checking out the website, it's where the weird ones are podcast.com. You can also leave a rating and review right there on the podcast. You get the blog, you can get to the shop, and you can get a chat room. But the chat room is password protected. You have to be Patreon member to get that password.
And it's worth it.
So, and Patreon is weirdos only. You get early access to the show. So the show, each episode comes out the day before, but I might start doing it so that it comes out like maybe 2 days before, so it's a little bit more intriguing. Conspiracy Tuesdays are going to Patreon, and you get story time and a free coffee mug with the logo on it, which is this logo, the main logo. But other than that, everybody, the thumbs up. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the show. Angel is a sweetheart, and I love talking to her. Last time was a blast. This time was a blast. So please show her some love and, like this specific episode. So other than that, everybody, question everything and stay weird.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.
Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky. When the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day, make a wish.